My passion for art, drawing more specifically, started back in kindergarten when I used to go to Perry. And at that time, my cousin went to Perry too, so I hung out with him quite a bit. And he used to draw all these fantasy creatures and monsters, and I used to think they were so cool. Like, I want to draw things like that. So, I started drawing things like that, and I kept drawing things like that, and I'm still drawing things like that 12 years later. So that's the small example of how there's unlimited things you can do in art, and that is one of the major draws to it. There will never be a day where you wake up and you're like, I've done all the art that I can do. It just won't happen because we think we have ideas. It's just how humans are. It's part of the reason why we like art. We appreciate it. And another thing, drawing specifically, it's just a little bit different for painting or sculpting, but drawing, you got your pencil, you got your eraser, you got a sheet of paper. Pencil costs a couple cents. Eraser costs a couple more cents. A sheet of paper costs like 1/5 of a cent. And there you go. Boom, you are set to have entertainment for hours after that. And there's nothing else out there that's like that. There's just not. And I mean, art just kind of makes you think in a different way. Like, you might just walk, if you're walking down the street, you see a box, normally you just be like, oh, it's a box. Well, if you're trying to advance your skills in shading or color, for the example of shading, you look at that box, normally you'd be like, oh, it's a box. Well, if you were thinking about shading, you look at that box and you're discerning where the shadow meets the light and where it does around the different dimensions of the box and how all that happens to try to incorporate that into a drawing in the future where maybe you don't actually have something that you're looking at, but you know how the light would react around an object like that. And that's just kind of cool. I mean, who would be entertained by a box? But I mean, if you're into drawing or painting, it happens in painting too, or probably sculpting to an extent. I don't do a lot of sculpting, so I don't know, but you just look at that and it just means more to you, and that kind of puts like another depth onto just experience in general. And those are some of the top reasons why I enjoy drawing and why I have enjoyed drawing throughout the years.